What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of our tentative title, Chicago 2.0. You guys showed so much love for the first episode, so I'm made sure to get this one out. Today, we're making one of my favorite builds ever on this game. We're making a beautiful dock over for our Chicago area. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you guys enjoy this episode, like, comment, share. I just really appreciate everything you guys do already. But we aren't gonna waste too much time, man. Let's get straight into it. All right, so today we're gonna be making our port because it's a northeast city. Ports are extremely important to what it is that kind of goes on through the city. So I wanted to make this pretty early on. That way we have it kind of established in our city. So first things first, we have to make our road layout over here. So let's go ahead and try that. What we're gonna be doing is we're gonna take a road, bring it about 90. We wanna make sure this is leveled first, yeah. Everything looks to be leveled. So what I'm doing is I'm just making basically the outline of what our dock's gonna look like. I personally like this look. So this is going to be C, and then this is going to be where the end of our dock is, where we'll have like some industrial stuff like zoned in. All right, we also want to make sure to put our cargo harbor out here, which is going to be a humongous asset. We have to make sure that it's going to fit the way that we want it. This is like an example how we're going to kind of want it to slot in there, which is going to be a little bit difficult, but we're going to try it. All right, so we're going to pause. We're going to take our level tool. We're going to go out a little bit. We're just giving ourselves enough room to cut it out. We're going to hit play. This stuff becomes green. That's how we know that the game has registered it as real grass, like as defined landmass. We're gonna pause again, take our brush size. We're gonna make it pretty small. We're gonna go to like somewhere down here for the ocean. We're just gonna carry along right on this line. Gonna carry down with the line of the road. All right, so now it's gonna look something like this, and we're just going to attempt to see what happens. So we're gonna delete that. We're gonna put back in our road, same way we had it. So like I said, we're gonna take our level terrain tool and click down here. We wanna make sure this is about level with that road. And there we have it. We have our first key. Looks pretty cool. Let's delete this. Let's take our medium road. We're just gonna go back over here to see if we get our key. We do, which is awesome. And there you have it. And we're just gonna do the same process really through here. All right, and it's going pretty good so far. So we have the majority of our key walls. Now we just have a couple more to go. And then I also want to start cutting this up so that we can put in our dock as well. All right, now we're gonna take our dock, and I think we can fit it in pretty nicely, about right. Probably about right here. Let's see if how this looks. Doesn't look too bad. Only problem really is the sides of these. So there we go. I'm actually able to fix it, but yeah, we wanted to look as close as the keys as possible. So I like that honestly a whole lot better. And we also need to go ahead and make our railway connection, since that's going to be very important. And we're gonna check to see if this can go over this. I don't think so. We might have to move this over just a smidge to see if we can get our railway connection in there like that. All right, we were able to get our railway connection in there. So it just carries right behind this, and then it needs to go actually into this. So it could be a little bit of a logistical nightmare. What I could do is I could curve it down. So instead of it going all the way down like that, I could just have it go to about here, have it curve over this road. And we use this road and we use that to connect it. I really hope that can make that curve. I also want to just make like some like little regular roads over here, as if it's like it's going to a dead end or something like that. Just some little spare tracks that we can throw like over here, just to create that illusion as to if, you know, there's more going on in this area than what it is, which I kind of like the look of that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Right. So I think I like how that looks. And I think now we're just going to get rid of this area and let's see how it comes together. And it looks like it worked perfect. So now we have a little bit of water over on this side. Looks pretty good. Just filled itself out over here. And we have a cool little pier. And then we have our true cargo harbor as well. Now, before we do the rest of that stuff, we're actually going to connect up our seaway. Just something like this. And then we're going to take our cargo ship harbor route. We're going to go from here out to our outside connection and back. And then from here to our outside connection, which is way over here, and back. All right, now we'll start getting cargo ships that are going to come in and want to deliver to our new cargo harbor. We also want to do a cargo railway. Our cargo, we're going to go all the way to our outside connection. We're going to go all the way back. Then we're going to take another one. We're going to go all the way to our outside connection, which is over here, and all the way back. Now we have 2 cargo railways that can deliver things in and out to our city. Also, we can just finish off this road for right now. And yeah, look at that. We already have something being delivered to our dock just that quick. We also have our train coming in and out delivering goods. All right, we need to go to our row yard, and we actually need to add on a couple more trains and then connect this up to it. All right, so now look at that. We have a harbor. We also have our dock. Now I do want to transform this side as well, just a smidge. So we're going to go through and do the other side exactly how we did this side. All right, so moment of truth. Let's see if the water does what it's supposed to do. Looks like it does. There we have it. We have our docks done. And we also have our harbor done. And it's fully functional. We have ships coming in. Everything's already rolling really smooth. And it looks really good from up top. Now we can start the process of figuring out exactly what's going to be over here. I do want to do something with this water. I don't know what yet. Thinking I could probably do something similar to over here, just to where it's like we have almost like an indie dock that is just kind of fake, but it could be almost like a little lake for our people that they can go around and do different things and kind of enjoy a lunch break over at this nice little green lake over here. So I'm thinking I like the sound of that. All right, we're gonna hit play. Gonna be extremely hurt if this floods over. Doesn't look like it is, but this is definitely sketchy. I tell you what, 100%, 100,000% kind of sketchy. So yeah, so we're gonna actually shift this down a little bit, take our level tool and try and make this deeper so that it doesn't go out. Let's try that. I think that should keep the water at bay for the most part. Also gonna take a soften terrain tool. Gonna make it kind of soft, just kind of hit those edges a little bit, make them not as rigid and kind of choppy. On this side, I could do like a little bay or something. So let's go ahead and get started on that. It needs to clear this area, which could be a little problematic. Let me see. Take all over our level terrain, go in 75. We're just gonna go straight, something just like that. And like I said, same process, much smaller brush. Just go along this edge. And that's the outline for our little lake, which looks awesome, by the way. Like I said, a lot of this is just gonna be same process. So we're just gonna take our 30, gonna go deep, just gonna go around this area. I'm actually not gonna make this a key. I'm just gonna make it just a regular. All right, and now we hit play. Hopefully we don't flood the whole, our whole industrial complex. Fingers crossed. Jeez Louise. All right, next up we're gonna take our pathways and I'm just going to just go along this area. All right, last step is to make this into a pedestrian street. All right, we're just creating the little connections between our pathway and this pedestrian road. Like we're almost giving ourselves like a little bike trail or something where people could just explore. Like if they're on their off time or something like that, they're just on a break and they're like, just want to walk around and just enjoy the outdoors for my break while I'm being stuck in these warehouses. They can. So that's really the thought process behind this area. I mean, I remember working an office job and being like just extremely happy just to go to my car or go do something outside of like being in work. I hope you guys understand kind of like where I'm coming with that, but yeah. I think that's a cool little area. Also, have is to do a little decoration to our little lake. All right, guys, and look how awesome this little lake area looks. Looks super cool. And then now that just gives us a little bit of a leisure point for our people who work over here. And then now we're just gonna finish off our industrial area with some zoning, with some ore, some coal over here as well. So let's go ahead and get into that. So we're gonna go ahead and put our ore mining over here. It's not really about maximizing the area, which it is more so about just having that look going on. You know, something simple like that. Then go through our terraforming tool. To create a little bit of a separation between these two things, we're actually gonna bring in a road, just like a little alleyway. We're gonna run it up. We're gonna do like a curve up here. We're gonna attach our nodes to the road. All right, now we have like a cool little mining area that isn't too bad. It's close over here by our mountain. Gonna create some separation with some oak trees. And we're gonna try to put a couple more offices over in this area as well. Gonna be straight first. Then we're gonna take a complex curve. Then we're also gonna connect this up right here, just with a straight road. I think we're also gonna take this road over on this side. Do a small curve about here. Now we can connect the rest of our nodes into this area. And this looks awesome, guys. So now we're gonna finally put in our industrial zones. But I do like to start off with, as always, our signature buildings. That we can define some bigger kind of like mainstays of our area. So if we have like a big warehouse or something, like a chemical plant or something like that, we can put it in there to where it's like, we know we're gonna need a certain amount of room for this specific thing. Like as an example, I would love to have this pharma building, but to do that, we probably would have to delete a couple roads. We don't wanna zone in all this stuff first before we do that. Now to do this, we're actually going to pause first. We're going to delete all this stuff right here. I know they're gonna be pretty upset with me. They're gonna be pretty upset, but we don't care. We're gonna delete this for right now as well. Like I told you guys a couple episodes ago, that was just temporary. And I love the idea of being able to put our vehicle factory, which is a big, humongous building right here. Look at this behemoth, man. This thing just takes up so much room. It takes up a huge amount of room, guys. It's huge. It's a beautiful, beautiful asset. It looks great with the harbor in the back. And it just has created like this big industrial piece for us to kind of like a centerpiece to build around. Another signature building that I'd like to put over here. Clear this area out. The second building that I want to put down is the switch on, which takes up quite a bit of space. It is another behemoth. Takes up a bunch of space, but is a big, beautiful asset and looks awesome, by the way. Still leaves us plenty of room to build a bunch of other warehouses and things around it. And now that we have our two signature buildings that kind of define our area, we now want to put in our parking areas. Parking's super important because, you know, these people who work out here, they need somewhere to park. So somewhere like here, we can put in some cheeky parking right behind. No way you get cleared for building a behemoth like this without having ample parking design. And I feel like for now, that is enough parking. We'll probably put more in there later, but for now, I definitely just start zoning in. Let's hit play first of all. We're gonna start getting some things zoning in. I wanna be very mindful of what gets zoned in. So we're not gonna just let it just zone in whatever. We're gonna go in and put specific lot sizes in here. We also wanna leave some room for developmental pieces, which you can just take a surface. I actually learned this from Infrastructurist, one of my favorite YouTubers. We're just gonna take this, make like a little lot. To where, let's just say people are kind of getting ready to move in, but just haven't yet. All right, we're just taking our time, going through here, just zoning in stuff, just as we see it, not really trying to overzone and like congest anything. We also don't want like a million smokestacks either. So if we're seeing like too many of them, we're getting rid of them. Like right here, I would prefer if there weren't smokestacks right here. We're really just taking our time, just going through, just making sure that everything looks good. Adding in base lots as well. All right, we're gonna add some more train tracks right here. I think it would be a cool feature to have. Then we're gonna make this area like a pavement. Just gives us kind of like a breakup, and we're exactly, a visual breakup really. All right, because we are zoning so much office and that our office demand is slowing down, it lets me know that we were probably in an education bottleneck right now because we have so many people. So what I'm actually going to do is put down another elementary school and another elementary school and another high school over here. Because I'm pretty positive, yeah, if you look at that, we're pretty much at a bottleneck. We also need a university, so that might be next episode, us making our first university. We also need to fix our medical as well. So also, I think it's probably time to get a proper hospital. Right now, we just have a medical clinic doing everything. And I don't think it's enough to do what we have to do. So I think it would be smart to put another medical clinic somewhere in the city. So we're just gonna take another Northeastern medical clinic and just throw it over probably right here, and give this one extension wings and give the other one extension wings as well, just until we feel comfortable enough to make something like a hospital, which it might be that around that time, but trying to hold out until we get into our more densely populated area over here. We really would just want this area, since it is on the outskirts, to be mostly just office area. Actually gonna give ourselves a signature office building, which I think Principus might be a really good thing to put over here. I think it fits the area and just gives us a bunch of cool little perks that we can use. Alright, and then now the last thing that I want to do is just go around and decorate this area. So we're just going to do some decor, do some trees, just make sure it looks the part as well. Because who wants to work in a place that really isn't attractive? And nowadays, modern industrial places look pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. Thank you guys for watching yet another episode. This episode honestly is probably my favorite one of my favorites I've ever done for this channel. It came out really good. This is probably the best part I've ever done. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely give me a like, a comment. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you guys enjoyed, tell a friend. Love you guys. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming with me on this ride. We got another episode coming next week. Till next time. Peace.